And there's no, I don't know, people exploding.
Palestinians, yeah.
Pretty much, the life here is really good.
You can't deal with these people. There's no need to try. There's no need to talk to them.
There's only one way, like, I would carpet bomb them.
You would carpet bomb them?
It's the only way you could deal with it.
We need to kill Arabs.
Israel kills enough of these sons of bitches that this is not a problem.
The hell that they most truly deserve.
During the late 7th century BCE, Judah became a vassal state of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. However, the king of Judah, Jehoiakim, betrayed the Babylonian Empire. Originally, Jehoiakim ruled as a vassal state of the Egyptian, paying a heavy tribute to raise the money. He taxed the land and exacted the amount, the silver and gold from the people of the land according to the assessment. However, after the Egyptians were defeated by the Babylonians at the Battle of Carchemish in 605 BC, Nebuchadnezzar II besieged Jerusalem, and Jehoiakim changed allegiances to avoid the destruction of Jerusalem. He paid tribute from the treasury. Jehoiakim continued for 3 years as vassal to the Babylonians until the failure of an invasion of Egypt in 601 BC undermined the control of their area. Jehoiakim switched allegiances back to the Egyptians. What's ironic is that these same Egyptians have also killed his father. So basically he betrayed the Babylonians to serve his father's killers. As a result of this, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II, as a punishment, basically besieged Jerusalem in 587 BC, and the city surrendered. In 587 or 586 BCE, King Nebuchadnezzar conquered Jerusalem, destroyed the first temple, and razed the city. The kingdom of Judah was abolished, and many of its citizens were exiled to Babylon. The former territory of Judah became a Babylonian province called Yahud, with its center in Mizpah, north of the destroyed Jerusalem. What's interesting is that it was the betrayal of Israel that led to their ruin. Even to this day, this is the treacherous legacy the Zionist nation carries. Israel have always refused to hold their word. Their rule is treachery and evil. In order to explain what I mean, I have to explain what happened to Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat was born in 1929, and he was a Palestinian revolutionary leader. He founded the Fatah Party and the PLO. It's one of the two major political parties in Palestine along with Hamas. Now, after a hardcore revolutionary movement, Yasser Arafat decided to hold secret peace talks with the Israelis. Then in 1993, they decided to sign a peace treaty known as the Oslo Accord. This allowed Palestinians to govern West Bank and Gaza. Prior to signing the accords, Arafat, as chairman of PLO, signed 2 letters renouncing violence and officially recognizing Israel. In return, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, on behalf of Israel, officially recognized the PLO. What's interesting is that the Oslo Accords closed all hopes for the Palestinian refugees' right of return. These are refugees that were displaced in the 1948 Nakba massacre. So Yasser Arafat acknowledged the two-state solution, yet there is video footage of Netanyahu admitting openly about how he used manipulation and loopholes to get rid of the Oslo Accord.
במיוחד היום עם אמריקה, אני יודע מה זה אמריקה. אמריקה זה לא שאפשר להזיז אותו בקלות, להזיז לכיוון הנכון.
הם אומרים שהם בעדינו, אבל כאילו...
לא יכניעו לנו.
אז אם אנחנו עושים את זה משהו, אז הם...
יש שווה, אז נניח שהם אומרים משהו. אז אמרו, 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בנו. זה אבסורד, יש לנו שם תמיכה כזאת, ואנחנו אומרים, מה היו הסכמי אוסלו? הסכמי אוסלו שהכנסת חתמה עליהם. שאלו אותי, מה כבוד התקיים? כן, בתנאי כפוף להדדיות וצמצום הנסיבות. אבל איך אתה מצמצם את הנסיבות? אני אתן פירוש להסכם שיאפשר לי להפסיק את הדהירה הזאת לקווי 67. איך עשינו את זה?
הסכם אוסלו קבע בשעתו כי ישראל תמסור בהדרגה שטחים לפלסטינים ב3 פעימות שונות, אלא אם בשטחים האמורים יימצאו התנחלויות או אתרים צבאיים. כאן מזהה ביבי פרצה.
אף אחד לא אמר מה זה אתרים צבאיים מוגדרים. אתרים צבאיים מוגדרים, אני אמרתי, אלה אזורי ביטחון. בקעת הירדן, מבחינתי זה אתר צבאי מוגדר. נכון. זה אוקיי. אף אחד לא... לך תגיד.
Basically, the Oslo Accord stated that Israel would gradually hand over territories to Palestinians in 3 stages, unless the territories in question have settlements or military sites. Netanyahu tricked the Palestinians by constantly building settlements and military checkposts, because they are technically settlements, or military sites. So the Palestinians cannot remove them. So by this, he's constantly taking over land while claiming to still hold to Oslo Accord. So basically, they deceived the Palestinians.
הפלסטינאים העלו דרישה שכל ההתנחלויות יוקפאו. רבין אמר, תשמעו, ישנה החלטה, מי שמסתכל על ההחלטה הזאת רואה שישראל באופן חד צדדי החליטה להקפיא את ההתנחלויות. באנו עם זה לפלסטינים, והם, משום שהם האמינו בנו, הם הסכימו לזה. זו הייתה הטעות הגדולה שלהם. הם לא עמדו על סעיף מפורש של הקפאת ההתנחלויות, כי הם האמינו בנו.
And this is how the Israelis betrayed the Palestinians. The same way Jehoiakim betrayed the Babylonians. On top of this, there are also evidence which shows that Yasser Arafat was poisoned with radiation poisoning. The only people who have that kind of poison is a nuclear power. In an Al Jazeera documentary, they made it clear and they analyzed Yasser Arafat's belongings, saw evidence of poison. Now, of course, there are questions whether this is actually poison or not, or if it's the evidence is very, very, very convincing. Now, Israel also attempted to assassinate Arafat on a number of occasions, but has never used its own agents, preferring instead to turn Palestinians close to their intended target, usually using blackmail. According to Alan Hart, the Mossad's specialty is poison. According to Abu Iyad, 2 attempts were made on Arafat's life by the Israeli Mossad. In 1976, Abu Said, a Palestinian agent working for the Mossad, was enlisted in a plot to put poison pellets that looked like grains of rice in Arafat's food. Abu Iyad explained that Abu Said confessed after he received the order to go ahead, explaining that he was unable to go through with the plot because he was, first of all, a Palestinian and his conscience wouldn't let him do it. Read about this in Arafat, a political biography by Alan Hart. So when people like Ben Shapiro often says that Hamas is not interested in peace, that's a lie, because it's the Israelis that was never interested in peace.
To the peculiar narcissism of many Westerners, there are lots of people around the world who don't think like we do. Hamas is not like you. Those who celebrate Hamas are not like you. They cannot be reasoned with and they cannot be negotiated with.
They betrayed Palestine just like their ancestor Jehoiakim betrayed the Babylonians. They paid the price. It's really ironic that Western media wants us to feel bad for these snakes, these Zionists who have learned absolutely nothing in thousands of years. I mean, they don't follow David, Moses, or Solomon. They follow Jehoiakim. Zionism is a poison that Jewish people have to get rid of. Otherwise, it will poison them just like Nazism did Germans. The idea of Jewish people being superior to other races have to be obliterated. The only way to do this is by wiping Israel off the map. I mean, you cannot get rid of Zionism without getting rid of Israel, or at least this fascist version of Israel. Jewish people and Arabs can coexist in Palestine. However, it can never happen in a 2-state or in a state of Israel, or at least an Israel that is based on this kind of like fascist premise. The very premise of Israel is based on injustice, taking the land of native people through genocide and colonialism. There is a scene in one of my favorite Superman movies called Man of Steel. It's ironic because Superman is also supposed to represent Jewish Americans. So in a fight between him and Zod, he starts destroying Zod's ship, which has Kryptonian DNA. He asks Superman to not do it, because it's the only way to revive Krypton on top of Earth. It'll of course kill everyone on Earth. And Superman responds by saying, Krypton had its chance. I think Jewish people also need to start saying the same. Israel had its chance. If you cannot agree, then look at this footage of this little Palestinian girl crying as her home is demolished by the IDF. Explain to her why you deserve her home more than her.
ولقينا كل الناس على باب الدار غرفتي ولا عيبي ورحوا معي ورحت خزينتي رحت تختي بس رايحين نطلع من القدس لأنه هم قوات احتلال عمالهم بيطلعونا من دارنا عمالهم بيطلعونا من القدس عمالهم بيطلعونا من فلسطين نروح بس نبص رجلهم لا والله فشلت عينهم كمان